will sit where they sit. Listen to what the Bible says in Matthew chapter 9. In Matthew chapter 9, I'm going to read this to you real quick. I want you to hear the heart of Jesus. In Matthew 9, verse 35, it says, Jesus traveled through all the cities and villages of that area, teaching in the synagogues and announcing the good news about the kingdom. And wherever he went, he healed people of every sort of disease and illness. But he felt great pity for the crowds that came. The New King James says that he was moved with compassion. Why did he have such compassion? Because their problems were so great and they didn't know where to go for help. They were like sheep without a shepherd. He said to his disciples, the harvest is so great, but the workers are so few. So pray to the Lord who is in charge of the harvest. Ask him to send out more workers for his fields. You know, I know God, he's pleased with a lot of things that we're doing. But man, he sees and he recognizes that there's still one more soul. There's some girl right now who's at her home somewhere in this city who's crying. Maybe she was just molested for the first time. There's that person you sit in class with every day. You sit with them. You sit in every single day. And you might not see them tomorrow because tonight's not they're going to take their life. Because they're so depressed and oppressed. And it's so hellacious in their home that they cannot handle one more night. God's looking for somebody to stand in the gap. Let somebody feel what I feel. I've been praying dangerous, just crazy prayers. Lord, I want to really feel your hurt. I want to feel your hurt. Man, when you really sit where they sit and you're astonished, you'll have no problem warning people. When you sit where they sit and you hear them telling their jokes and lying about how many girls they were with over the weekend, something ought to rise up on the inside of you. Why? Because they're going to perish and go to a Christless eternity. But you won't say anything because you're afraid they might mock you if you do. They might laugh at you if you do. I'd rather God, I'd rather the people, I'd rather the world think I was foolish rather than have God think I was foolish. And when you begin to sit where they sit, there's not a building in Baton Rouge that can contain the harvest. Why? Because the harvest in this city, in this surrounding area, is hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. Father, I pray that you'd break us. Let us hurt for the lost. Give us compassion for the people in this city that are in blindness, and darkness. I pray that you'd move us into a deeper place of compassion, where we really hurt the way you hurt. Pray that we begin to see people with your eyes. And I ask that it would move us the same way it moves you. I pray that you'd stamp eternity on our eyeballs and let us see through the light of eternity. And I know one day we're all going to stand before your judgment seat. And it's at that day we're going to receive our rewards, our punishment for whatever it is we've done. Father, I pray that you begin to strip us, that you begin to take things off of us that we don't need, that you begin to put things on us and put things inside of us that we do need. Let us be conformed. Let us begin to look like Jesus, talk like Jesus, walk like Jesus, love like Jesus, perform signs and wonders and miracles just like Jesus. Reach the lost just like Jesus. Lord Jesus, live strong in us. Could you live strong in me? Be strong in me. Let this truly be a Jesus generation. That people will look at us the way they looked at your apostles. Said, surely these people have been with Jesus. Surely they've been with Jesus. I thank you that this is a week. This week, as a result of this festival, I pray that every one of our youth groups are going to feel what you've done in us these few days. That we're not on the defensive, we're on the offensive. That we're not scared of the enemy, that he literally begins to tremble. Let the enemy recognize that this is a Jesus generation. Ramana Sandala Rabaga Singari of Rabagoso. Koramanangere de Shitara Rebo Vremanozo Taravreba de Si. As John sings, I just want you to have your eyes closed, and I just want you to begin to see. Come on. Hear the heart of your youth pastor is to see young people come into the kingdom of God. So there's a frustration because we feel this great burden, but a lot of times people don't want to share the burden. People don't want to share the burden of Jesus. We want his joy, but how about his cross?